HeyGen just gave Claude the power to make motion graphics and full explainer videos from scratch using their new MCP HyperFrames. But I put this new tool to the test and I'm gonna show you all of the good and all of the bad. And newsflash, it's not always as easy as it looks. HeyGen is sponsoring this video, but you know the drill. I don't hold back, and if you appreciate that, comment real down below. Okay, so to get this thing set up is really simple. Just open up Claude, go to Customize, Connectors, hit the plus, browse connectors, and search HeyGen or HyperFrames. Connect your HeyGen account here and boom, we're ready to go. That's it. Now that HyperFrames is installed, we can start working on videos. The first category that I want to test is motion graphics. Motion graphics take a ton of time to create, or a lot of budget if you're a production company. So let's see if HeyGen has just given Claude the ability to do that for us. I'm starting off with a prompt to create a motion graphic that visualizes what I talk about in this imaginary script. A travel and finance topic like this is the perfect candidate for using motion graphics to keep things visually interesting. Let's see if Claude and HyperFrames can pull it off. Now if we click here and open up this link, we can see the whole HyperFrames UI. Our completed tasks are down here, followed by future tasks and the ones in progress right up at the top. Now it's been about 10 minutes and the clip has rendered, so we can see that we've got a player window right here and a whole stack of different timelines and elements down at the bottom here. These are the pieces that go together to make our finished video. But let's just pull this up and see how HyperFrames did.
The loud crowd isn't always the big spending crowd. While some generations post the most, others quietly outspend them. Gen Z leads in travel desire, with 76% eager to explore. Boomers follow at 51%. Gen Z and millennials favor frequent budget-friendly trips, often planned entirely through social media feeds. But boomers quietly outspend everyone. 23% spend over $6,000 on a single trip. They choose premium hotels and guided tours, investing in luxury experiences without flinching at the price tag.
Overall, this is pretty good. This button is odd and I don't want captions on it at all because I'm just gonna mute it and play it over my own voiceover. So let's ask Claude for those edits. And again, about 10 minutes later, our clip is ready.
Boomers quietly outspend everyone. 23% spend over $6,000 on a single trip. They choose premium hotels and guided tours, investing in luxury experiences without flinching at the price tag.
All right, hey, this is better. We still have those captions though. And I mean, it looks like I should be able to manually delete them down here, but for some reason this button isn't working right now. Let's see if I can delete them with HeyGen's built-in agent right here. Oh, I was wondering why the agent was taking so long. It regenerated the entire thing instead of just doing an edit to the video. Don't know why I did that, but let's take a look.
The loud crowd isn't always the big spending crowd. While some generations post the most, others quietly outspend them. Gen Z leads in travel desire, with 76% eager to explore. Boomers follow at 51%. Gen Z and millennials favor frequent budget-friendly trips, often planned entirely through social media feeds. But boomers quietly outspend everyone. 23% spend over $6,000 on a single trip. They choose premium hotels and guided tours, investing in luxury experiences without flinching at the price tag.
Well, that's the best one yet all around, and there's no captions anywhere. And look at the total LLM cost. $3 over all of this process. That is sweet. Let's move on to something a bit more complex. A full explainer video. I want to learn about the history of the Colosseum. This is a video that could be used in like a tourism campaign or an education YouTube channel, something like that. We'll start with just the idea and let Claude get to work on all of the technicalities. Claude says it'll start with a script as a foundation. That's a pretty good course of action. Let's check this out. The script is good. I mean, it's super detailed, but it is too long for our purposes, coming in at over 4 minutes. Let's ask Claude to aim for like 2 minutes instead. And just like that, our 2-minute version is ready and it looks really good. Now it's time to generate the actual film, which is where HeyGen comes in. Claude's analyzed the tool and it knows that HyperFrames is awesome at motion graphics and animated titles, so it's adjusting its approach to give us the best result possible with the tool. Now here we're running into like the first main issue that I've seen with the MCP with HyperFrames. For some reason, Claude thinks that HyperFrames can't do built-in audio, which we know from the previous generations it obviously can. So let's challenge it. And yeah, of course, I was right. Do not be afraid to push back against AI sometimes. it can still be wrong. So now Claude's saying that it will naturally integrate the voiceover after the video renders. One thing that is unique about HyperFrames is this ability to actually edit things and make tweaks to a video on top of the video that you've already gotten without completely tearing things down and rebuilding from scratch. So here we go, Claude's patching that in, and we should have a result to view in like a minute or two.
For nearly 2,000 years it has stood at the heart of Rome. 50,000 people once roared inside these walls. Emperors performed here. Men and animals died here. This is the Colosseum.
Okay, I mean, it's not bad. There are some spots that I want to add some more visual interest though, especially right here where it seems to have missed rendering a graphic altogether. Like, this is way too boring. So let's hop back into Claude and ask specifically to add some more graphics to that one section. And here we go, you can see that it's updating what we had with the new instructions. No need to tear down everything.
Vespasian seized power. And where Nero's private palace and lake once sat, he built a gift to the Roman people.
Okay, this section is better, but I think we just need more visuals through the entirety of the clip. I wanted to have Claude go through and embellish all of it. And honestly, this is where I ran into some frustrations with this tool. The new version it gave me wasn't any better. It was actually worse. So I tried again, only to be met with the same result. Things are now going in the wrong direction. And Claude says that's probably due to the editing feature that I was just going on praising. Putting new instructions on top of an old canvas really only works for small changes. Since I want to revamp the pace of the visuals entirely, it's time to just rebuild it from start. So I iterated and I changed and I iterated and I changed, and finally we landed on this version, which is the best one yet.
For nearly 2,000 years, it has stood at the heart of Rome. 50,000 people once roared inside these walls. Emperors performed here. Men and animals died here. This is the Colosseum. It began with a tyrant. After Nero died in disgrace, the general Vespasian seized power. And where Nero's private palace and lake once sat, he built a gift to the Roman people. Construction began around 72 AD, and his son Titus finished it. Its real name was the Flavian Amphitheater. The nickname Colosseum came from a towering bronze statue that once stood next door, the Colossus. An engineering marvel, 4 stories of travertine stone, over 40 meters tall. 80 arched entrances let tens of thousands file in and out in minutes. Each spectator handed a numbered token guiding them to their seat. And when the sun blazed, sailors from the Roman Navy unrolled a vast canvas awning over the crowd. Beneath the floor lay the hypogeum, a maze of tunnels and cages, where lifts and trapdoors raised animals and gladiators up into the light. Mornings brought beast hunts, midday executions, and in the afternoon, the gladiators. But contrary to legend, not every fight ended in death. As Rome fell, the games faded and the giant was left to earthquakes and stone robbers, its stones stripped to build a new city. And yet, it survived. Today, it draws millions of visitors every year, a broken but defiant symbol of Rome. 2,000 years on, the crowd is still coming.
Let me remind you, everything you just watched was completely created with AI. It feels like just yesterday that AI wasn't even able to render accurate text, and now HeyGen and Claude are doing this? That's crazy. If you want to try out this new tool for yourself, I'll have HeyGen linked down below, and I'm also curious, what would your first use case be for this? Like, do you see this as part of your production workflow? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to see my thoughts on Gemini OmniFlash, which is Google's newest text-accurate video model, you should check out this video up over here. I think that would be a good thing to build on after all of this.